except Aaron and I have discovered something while working on these cars together.
We are a little different.
Yes, we have irreconcilable differences.
New Subaru WRX STI. Is that cool?
Vaping. Boo.
I got all of the new tag.
What?
Check out these gold wheels.
What are we talking about your bougie wheels? I got Fuchs wheels.
You just don't like anything, do you? How about puppies?
Puppy breath. Boo. You were thinking the differences were something else. What's your deal? KW makes the perfect suspension for every demand. Find them in the description below. Whoa, this is my show. What's up, people? So today, Aaron and I are getting ready for Porsche 944 Fest. Woo. Yes. You excited?
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
So we've got my Porsche 944, which is 1984, and we have got the Genius Garage 944, which is 1988, if I remember correctly, except Aaron and I have discovered something while working on these cars together. Did you figure out what that was?
We are a little different.
Yes, we have irreconcilable differences. I think we should talk about these irreconcilable differences, Aaron. What's up? What's up with that?
Well, I was just thinking about the fact that you only have 8 valves while I got 16.
Bragging about your engine being more well endowed, yeah? Endowed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I also have the more charming, more racy old dash, and not the trying to be cool new dash like a 911, which is not as cool and is more snobby than 944s.
I got all of the new tag.
What?
Check out these gold wheels.
What are we talking about your bougie wheels? I got Fuchs wheels, and I can actually say Fuchs on the internet without getting demonetized because it's not a curse word.
Are you sure about? I mean, cup wheels, bro.
Cup
wheels. Is that not the coolest?
To be fair, I'm the one that picked out the gold color.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was the one that picked out
the
fact that they are cool. Because you need a young person's approval to tell you what is cool.
Yeah, and you have coilovers that are two-way adjustable from KW, and I ain't got that.
Cool track package, but you got that classic styling.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
Got a flat body line.
Yes. Our cars and our taste are vastly and possibly different, and that's a problem. But what we do share in common is both of our cars are not perfect. They're kind of raggy and they need a little love, don't you think?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and who likes driving them more, me or you?
I've been driving them for longer, but I'm a big fan of this thing.
Yeah, so you think we can share both being 944 guys together? Or should we just like hoard them all to ourselves somehow?
Let's hoard them.
What? No, let's share. We'll go have fun at 944 Fest.
Sharings for kindergartners. I'm not giving you any of my M&Ms.
Burn, dude. What?
Because I'm going to enjoy this. So that's why you should get one. All you out there. Because I wasn't expecting these things to be so good. No, I drive a BRZ, but these things are so good.
Yeah, dude, I knew this. That's why I started the No Snob Porsche 940 Squad group. 911s are weird.
They're weird, man.
Yeah, we agree. We agree on that. 911s are weird.
Oh yeah. I'm not spending 60 grand on an old Porsche like that.
Lame.
Just get a new M2, you know?
I wanted a Beetle. I would buy one. On that note, we should show everybody what's wrong with our cars. And go have fun together with a common goal. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think that's a good idea.
I do too. And as far as all y'all on the internet that are wondering what the irreconcilable, you were thinking the differences were something else. What's your deal? Yeah. Okay, forget that. Let's go have car fun.
My name's Aaron, and I'm a representative of Genius Garage. And this is our Porsche 944S, a 1988 model that was so generously donated to us earlier this year. And I'm gonna go over some of the good things, some of the bad things over this car, some exterior, interior, and some running and driving, running gears, stuff like that. So, starting off with the exterior, it's a little worse for wear. The paint's seen better millennia. Some parts are questionably held together. Paint's not perfect. It's bubbling in places. Weather stripping isn't perfect. I wouldn't really trust this thing in the rain that well. You know, it's got normal wear and tear. Some parts have been replaced, and we got a little bit of some of that delicious Michigan rust that you have to get on every car that you get from there. Usually a lot of cars, when you get them this old, they don't tend to, you know, lasts the test of time so well. A lot of body panels get dented up every once in a while. Was that the previous owner? Was it us? Who knows? Nobody remembers.
It wasn't us.
Let's let bygones be bygones. Okay?
Fair enough.
So, everything, if you stand about like a mile away, turn the other way, and begrudging yourself with a hammer, it doesn't look that bad. But if you get up close, like when we will be going to 944 Fest, overall the car is pretty good. We got these awesome wheels, fresh, complete brake system redo, and let's go into the interior for a little bit, if you don't mind coming into the side a little bit. Good evening.
What up?
Evening. So the interior, it looks pretty all right. It's seen better days. The dash is cracked, but that's every 80s car at this point. The carpet, some of the rubber, plastic, it's been sun bleached. It doesn't look that good. Some pieces are missing, but it's all put together. All of us at Genius Garage really tried our best with putting this all together in a somewhat cool looking fashion, but there's only so much you can do and there's only so much money you can spend.
What's up with the seats?
The seats, these are Corbeau GT2s. These are awesome seats. I think they look really good. And it was a seat that I actually picked out because I think they fit the 80s style and the retro aesthetic of the whole car overall. Despite the fact that we have the newer model dash and the newer steering wheel, I think it looks good. I like it. I like it. Knob's a little floppy. It's a little floppy.
The car's a little floppy, Aaron.
A little floppy. But then again, it's normal 80s car stuff. A little bit of sun bleaching, a little bit of wear and tear there. But this is a car to drive, and you don't buy a car 944 for a lot of affluence because it's not a 911. And if we actually want to...
Boo, 911s, boo.
911s are cool. They're just not brand new M3 cool, in my opinion.
BMW, boo.
New Subaru WRX STI. Is that cool?
Vaping, boo.
You just don't like anything, do you? How about puppies? How about puppies?
Puppy breath, boo.
Let's go to the trunk.
I don't know if they can hear any of that.
Let's go to the trunk. Let's see if we have any puppies back here. We don't have puppies, but we do have a cool rally pod. And if you want to come to the front with me, we can actually see what these look like. These would be what you'd see on like a rally style 944. You'd cut these out, put your rally pods in there, take off the badge, bada bing, bada boom. And we also have motor mounts because the motor mounts in this car are, let's just say they are pancaked flatter than a rhinoceros at an IHOP. But with a car like this, you need to have a lot of patience, which is something I've learned a lot with Genius Garage. There's only so much you can do. We've been spoiled by new technologies, so.
I want to show him my car. My car's cooler than yours.
Sure. If that helps you sleep at night, Casey.
I'll take what I can get. I have been driving this for a while, really enjoy it. I think I've had now, I don't know, like 6 944s in my life. That's crazy, right? First one I had way back when was a burgundy one. It was a new dash. I want an old dash, but that's what I got when I was more like Aaron's age. But this one I've been driving for a while. This is the one I always wanted. I wanted a black dash, old dash interior with a white car with white Fuchs wheels, which is actually a weird color combination you can't find much. Now, this car originally did not have Pasha in it. I had leftover Pasha fabric from my 928 build that I restored with that, and I had the Jacquard black fabric replaced that also was splitting back when. I did my Momo Prototipo steering wheel because I kind of dig it. I wanted that kind of old, late 70s sort of rally European look, of course with the old dashboard I really like. And then since it's a white car, I also got the Martini and Rossi stripe that was originally for 924s, but I got this stripe out of England, and the 924s have that big round reflector right here. So this stripe was made specifically for 944s, so it didn't have the cutout for it. So I know that's not what Porsche did, but I don't care. I like it because I'm not a snob, yes, or I am a snob. That's why I like it. Haha, you be the judge. Comment below. So anyway, this car, I think I've washed it once in the last long time, months, since there was snow on the ground, and I ceramic coated it once. So this is what it looks like if you don't take care of your car at all and ceramic coat it. So when I go to wash this, it's gonna look gorgeous, so I really like that. So that's just an example, but the car is old. It does have a lot of rock chips, things going on in the front. the front's been beat a little bit and it's got a bit of a rip. So at some time in the future, if I really take a notion, I'm gonna fix this, respray the front bumper, try to get a good match, probably respray this and just polish up, make it look good. There's a number of little dings in the hood, probably from hail and stuff from previous owners, a life. I mean, the car's older, it's driven like 155,000 miles, so it's been around the block a time or two. But in general, it's pretty good. Now, this particular car had a kind of funky life with timing belts. I think the timing belt broke in this car 2 or 3 times during its life, which is insane, and the engine was apart. But about 25,000 miles ago, based upon the records, the engine was completely rebuilt, which is cool because basically it's totally fresh. It's got great oil pressure, sounds good, everything's good. However, being an earlier car and the way it's set up, if it's super, super cold outside when you first start up, you hear just a tiny bit of piston slap, but nothing terrible. You're just nice to it when it gets a little temperature and it goes away and it's fine. This one is pretty well maintained in terms of belts and everything being up to date. I did notice a few things that was stupid. Obviously, I changed oil and all and cleaned up here and there, but it needed a new battery. But this here, if you come over this side here and you can see the negative battery terminal, the ground, it's just a bare copper wire, and it bolts right here to the firewall, basically right here, and there's a big bolt that goes right to a boss. Unbelievably, on this car before, it wasn't like starting well, it just wouldn't start, and it had this like flat spot at 4,000 RPMs. The negative terminal was attached to this bulkhead via a sheet metal screw and a washer. It was terrible. And then all of a sudden I couldn't start it because it couldn't get enough amperage to the ground. So I've realized that, made a proper ground, and the car not only ran a lot better, it started perfectly, so that was nice. But in general, everything's working, and the nice thing about the cars are if you actually maintain them, they last forever. Again, this car has 150 some thousand miles on it, and if they didn't blow up the motor by not replacing the timing belt, I'm sure it'd still be on its original engine with no rebuild. Now, that being said, the transaxle or the transmission in the back still is the original. Now, I don't know who all was driving it before, and the synchros are pretty good. You're not going to just shift the crap out of it, but synchros are pretty good still. But I have noticed in like 4th gear, and especially if you shift really slowly, sometimes it kind of like gets stuck and it doesn't want to totally go into gear, and you kind of have to get it out and then stick it back in. So when you're shifting a car, I know it sounds a little crazy, but because the transmission is a little worn, perhaps the shifter forks and what moves that, you have to be deliberate with your shifting. Not violent, you don't smash it in, you just need to be deliberate and decisive. If I get lazy, sometimes it doesn't want to go all the way in just because it's a little worn. But in general, it's really happy, and I think it's going to last a very long time there. Now, this car is an early dash, early chassis, so the swing arms on it, as well as the front A-arms, are different than what is on the Genius Garage car that's later. So the KW shocks I had from the company actually didn't fit this one perfectly because it's the old, would have required modification. So I ended up just giving my coilover shocks to Genius Garage and let them have for the car so the guys can experience that and setting it up. So if you guys want to go back in some of my videos, you can see where we put them on there. And as another note, you can in fact use those coilovers with the original torsion bar springs that are in this. You just have to adjust them really soft. So we finally made a decisive figure out on that. But you know, you want a corner weight if it's going to be particular. So that's what's going on. With regard to the car, the weather stripping and all survived better. It's garaged and such, and I was experimenting with it with like not washing and such just to see how everything went. But the car's really happy, and the thing I love about 944s are they're galvanized from the factory. So actually it takes a lot of abuse to make one rust. It's actually kind of surprising the Genius Garage one has any rust on at all. So this is a car, if you take reasonable care with it, you can drive year-round all 4 seasons if you want to. This is a thing I think I'm going to have forever, so that's kind of what's up with it. Where's my keys? I need keys to show stuff. Actually, I'm gonna go back to the trunk and open that up. A commonality for 944s is the windows start to delaminate here. So you guys, the shocks that, the pneumatic struts here that hold your rear glass up, you don't want them to be too powerful, otherwise they can start making your glass come unglued, as just a note. Got a lot of nice tapes here that a fan had sent me, which I've really been enjoying, and it's kind of messy because I've been using this thing to bop around with the shop and nice country drives and things like that, but it's really been great. The exhaust system that I put on it, which is a stainless steel Becker, listen, it rattles, which is really annoying. The inside of it came undone, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to make it not rattle internally, but I do like the sound. It's a little loud for my taste after a while, but you know, today I was driving it again. I haven't driven it in a while, and I really enjoyed that. if I move the seat forward and you look at the back one, go ahead and take a look at that, Aaron. You can see the original Porsche jacquard fabric that's printed. It says Porsche. It's kind of like a dorky Karen Coach bag, except it says Porsche, and I'm not into that. So that's black. You don't really notice it. And I did the front seats with the Porsche. And if anybody doesn't like it, I don't care, because it's my Porsche, and I think it's charming and cheery. One thing I did with the shifter, it has a really nice shifter from, Aaron, is that 944 only or 944 online? What's that?
I believe it was 944 only.
944 only? They have the best shifter. It gets rid of all the slop. Would like to get one for Genius Garage's car sometime. And my car also has the short shift kit, which goes on the transaxle. But at the very least, you got to do their shifter kit because it gets rid of all the slop, and it's super nice. Issues with this car, Aaron, if you want to go to the passenger side, I think it's open. I'm going to kind of go over some weird details I've discovered that you guys will want to know about when you're owning one of these for a long time and driving them a lot. So, couple of things. You know, they're generally built really well, but it is an 80s car. Mine is the older dash here. Mine's cracked quite a bit, and this is the cover. And an owner before the last owner uses stupid silicone glue to glue this on, which looks terrible. But you can see all the cracks here. Now, a dash can be restored, but it's a fair amount of time. Maybe someday I'll do that on this, and that would be the best way to go. But in the meantime, I hate to say it, but the plastic dash cover is not the worst thing in the world. It certainly looks a little better than it does with all that darn silicone glue. And it's acceptable for what this is. I've got better things to do with my life than go to a concours, to be honest. So that's kind of, oh, now it doesn't fit because I'm stupid. Okay, great. All right, so anyway, you guys get it on that. Doggone it, doesn't fit, Aaron. I am stupid. What did I do? Okay, so the dash covers are not the best thing in the world, and it's ideal to have one that's not cracked or only cracked a little, or fix it. So you guys learn that. But a few things. One, the gas gauge, there's something with, I think, the sender in the back that gets a little funny. So depending on where the needle is, it'll jump a lot, but it tells me enough of what's going on so I know how much fuel I've got. Blaine is a 944 geek. One of the students has his own. He brought me another one of these little buttons for my gauges, which was helpful, and I really appreciate that. Generally, the gauges work really well, and believe it or not, my clock actually functions properly. Now, the AC unit in this, would you believe, actually still had R12 on it? It didn't last that long, so I'd like to have everything extinguished or removed from it, and then update it to R134A and see how it does if there's stop leak or something that works. So right now the air conditioning is not functioning in it properly. My old Blaupunk radio does work with the tape player, and I'm really appreciative that one fan sent me tapes because my aerial antenna stopped going up and down. So I need to fix that sometime if I want to listen to more than 2 radio stations. But we live in the greater Toledo, Ohio area, so let's be honest, there's only 2 radio stations that don't suck. So it's okay. The other thing is the sunroof. You can see I've got it going up, and it's electronic to go up and down. But the one oddity with it is, if I'm not mistaken, when you put it down, you should be able to push the button again and hold it, and then the little fingers retract, and that allows you to remove the whole sunroof and put it in the trunk. It doesn't do that. So I got to figure out what's going off that so I can remove it, make it easier. I got a button or a dummy button missing right here. Actually, this shift knob is from a Porsche Boxster because somebody put an aftermarket on with it. Was this really terrible square. I hated it. So I ended up cutting that off. Using the boot was nice, and then using a Boxster, which I was able to put on and then glue onto the 944 online shifter that got rid of all the slop, and just have the boot be here. So that was kind of an economical way I did it with what I had at hand. My old floor mats, these are probably from the 80s or early 90s. They're getting a little tired and sort of falling apart over here. And also this little glove pocket area here is kind of falling loose, and the carpet is coming unglued. So I'm going to need to fix that. But in general, it's a really solid, really good car. And I just wanted to show you guys it being totally dirty and totally real before I clean it up for the 944 online thing. I actually think I'm going to take my Porsche steering wheel out. It's smaller and it makes it a little trickier to see the gauges. And actually the original lightweight 3-spoke wheel for Porsche is pretty nice. So I kind of like that, being nostalgic. I think I'm going to put it back in, and I think I'm going to put the Momo wheel in my Alpha GT V6 I just got. So that's kind of what's up with it, guys. Really enjoying the car. It runs well, just keeping it happy. There's a couple little things that can eventually go bad, but obviously with the No Snob Porsche 944 squad group and others out there, is your best way to find out what's wrong with it, get into a car and decide what works. But I still think the 944 is probably one of, if not the coolest, affordable sports car out there for people young or old. You absolutely can work on them and maintain them yourself. Obviously be smart, and if there's something that's beyond you, we can all just put our egos aside and work on it together. You know, coming together for that common goal of enjoying cars. The prices of 944s have been being tried to be inflated of late, but I'm kind of happy because I noticed they didn't really get inflated. So there's still really nice cars you can buy out there from anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, and even some kind of fixer-uppers that are pretty decent for probably $3,000 or $4,000 as well. So just a thought. They're not perfect, but they're really nice, and you put the elbow grease in them, just it looks beautiful. So this is as scuzzy as my car gets, and if I wanted to, if this was my only car, it would be just fine. And honestly, you can get all the parts and everything you need, and there's lots of support, so you can have all the fun in the world. But it's also a vintage car, so I enjoy it more in terms of being collecting and enjoying it for the long haul. But it's nice because you can hop in it and it's reliable. So that's a really great thing about these. It's a vintage car that's like modern and reliable if you want it to be. And obviously the communities are really cool, and it's fun to make fun of 911 people. Yes, nice Beetle, ha! Okay, but anyway, guys, that's the video here today. We've got Aaron. Aaron, come over here. Yes.
Hello.
Oh, so, dude, so how old are you?
I'm 22.
So why do you like 944s? They're old. They're from the 80s of like crazy colors and no internet.
I mean, look at it. It's cool. With modern cars, you can't really have a body style like this anymore. It's cool aesthetic. It's something that we can't have anymore. And I'm just a huge fan of it.
Do you like the pop-up headlights?
Oh yeah. Who doesn't love pop-up headlights? Come on.
Nice. Okay, so are we actually, we were supposed to work on that car tonight so you can go to 944 Fest. Do you think it's going to be reliable enough to drive all the way there?
It'll be reliable enough to drive, I think.
We haven't tested it yet. Did we just go for it?
Blind test?
Blind test, just get insurance on it and let you drive it and go for it. I'll drive this one.
I know you hate this word, but send it?
Send it! Yes! So, I don't know, we got any other cool words of wisdoms or things to say to people in general? Hee hee hee.
Kusa is the Japanese word for grass.
Kusa?
Kusa.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's appropriate and helpful information. So, the country your parents came from, they speak French there?
Correct.
How much French do you know?
Un peu.
So basically, only just literally that phrase.
Oui.
But you know weird Japanese, you know how to speak some Japanese.
Sumimasen ringo desu.
Okay, I don't know how to speak either of those.
Don't worry about it.
I should get cultured and get out of this barn. Okay, that's all I got. You got any other words of wisdom?
Got a 944, and we'll see you at 944 Fest.
Yes, if not that, on the interwebs and having fun. Cool. All right, you guys, click the bell down below, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Well, a huge thank you to Crushproof Tubing Company. Since 1949 in Macomb, Ohio, they've been manufacturing custom rubber and plastic tubes for every industry imaginable. No tooling or mold costs, fast and free custom samples, and American-made quality is what sets them apart. But for me, I'm most excited about their exhaust evacuation kit. Different modular pieces and their convoluted custom hoses make it so that I can adapt any car, truck, or motorcycle with an internal combustion engine to get those exhaust gases out of my shop so I can keep working in safety and comfort. But beyond just that, they build a variety of hoses for a custom OEM world. You'll see stretchable drain tubing and bellows, as well as agriculture, medical, and military. So again, guys, Crushproof Tubing Company, crushproof.com, and go down in the description below to see where to get your free samples for industry or your exhaust tubing.